Welcome to Daily Armor. We'll find our scripture today in the book of Psalms, chapter 19, looking at verse 14. And it says, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer." I woke up just with the song in my head, and it's "My Redeemer is faithful and true." And I don't even know when I've heard the song last. I just woke up. Actually, yesterday woke up thinking about "My Redeemer is faithful and true," and it was kind of like just every time I noticed that I was humming it or thinking about it, the words were just playing over in my mind. And so I thought, well, I really want to look up some scripture about my Redeemer, about His faithfulness, about Him always being true, no matter what the circumstances look like, no matter what that my doubts and fears try to well up about. That He is faithful and He is true, and that He is my Redeemer. And so there's several scriptures that mention Him being our Redeemer. But this one I felt like was really perfect. And after I started studying it, I realized that it was really, really perfect. So when it said, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight," then I was thinking about, that we do want to be careful with our words. And I feel like that I'm a lot more careful with my words than I used to be. But I've not arrived. I don't do it perfectly, but I do try to listen more, not respond as much. I'm a little more quiet than I used to be, a little more reserved than I used to be. I used to be so gung ho, and just excited, and even to the point where I had the best intentions, but it wasn't always. Many times would get ahead of the Lord and things. And so through, the over 20 years of being saved and Him working in my life, I'm a little bit better than I used to be. And I try to be a lot more careful with my words. And like I said, not that it happens perfectly every time, but we want to be thankful for those times when we do get it right, when we did wait, when we did just ponder on some things and just wait to even really respond, and just let watch and see what God's doing in every situation. But then when I really got to studying this verse, this meditation, I was looking that up, and we know what it is to meditate, but I wanted to look it up in the Bible dictionary, and it said murmuring, and it said music. And I thought, oh my goodness, that's perfectly with what I've been doing. If you're thinking about murmuring and with music, then it's that humming that I was doing. It's that song that's in your head, and you're so thankful that it's a good song in your head. If you've ever heard maybe an annoying song and you cannot get it out of your head, it's so aggravating. But for the past 2 days, that's all that's been murmuring. The music that's been murmuring in my head has been, "My Redeemer is faithful and true." And that is acceptable in the sight of the Lord. That is what I should be pondering on. And we do need to be careful about the songs that are going on in our head, that the words, that the thoughts that are going on in our head. But here, "My Redeemer is faithful and true," and really, really to ponder that truth, that He is always there. He is my Redeemer. He is faithful. He is true. And when we think about, if you go on into the verse, and it says, be acceptable in thy sight, let that meditation, let this song be acceptable in your sight, O Lord. Let the thoughts that are going on in my mind be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Because that's really so if those thoughts well up with a little bit of fear, a little bit of anxiety, then the rest of this verse helps us with that, because it says, "My strength and my Redeemer." And then when I looked up strength, and I was thinking about what the Bible dictionary would say about strength, being strong, being great, being bold. But it was talking about a rock, a boulder, a refuge, and even it said the word cliff. And I thought, what a wonderful visual that a cliff is. But I felt like that there was something more, and so I was telling Todd about it, and I said, how could the cliff, as a form of strength, be applied? Because I was, even like looking up images of a cliff, and it said in the definition, it said especially at the edge of the sea, and I thought, oh my goodness, that's some of the most beautiful scenery to combine a beautiful mountain and the ocean all in one. That is just beautiful, and to be up on this mountain high up above this ocean that's all down crashing upon the rocks, and you're up on a cliff and you're looking out. And Todd said, it's just endless, and that he is that strength, that there's no boundaries, there's no end, that he is up there on that cliff seeing everything. He's in heaven. He's looking down and he sees everything going on. He's aware of everything. He's aware of my situation. He's aware of your situation. And we know that's where our strength comes from. It comes from him, because he does know, because he is aware, and he does have the ability. And it's only in his timing and in the way that he chooses, that we're waiting on, and that we can meditate that he is faithful and true, that he is my Redeemer, that he saved me, he loves me, he loves you. And when we think about that he is our Redeemer, that means he is our avenger. That's why that the scripture tells us to not, that vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. That the Lord's saying, you don't sin, but you let me handle things. That I see that you've been hurt. I see that you're hurting. I see that you're going through a dark time, but you let me help you. And it also means deliverer. He's going to deliver us, like the children of Israel were delivered out of the hands of the Egyptians. They were delivered out of bondage. I've been delivered out of this sinful nature, out of this, out of all this bondage that I was in, that I've been delivered from that. And it also means that it's that, like that kinsman redeemer, that the kinsfolk, that he is the one that is able to purchase us out of our dilemmas, and that he is our revenger. So again, avenger, revenger, he's the one that's going to take care of things, no matter what the enemy is, no matter if the enemy is cancer, no matter if the enemy is some kind of bondage that you feel like that you're in, where you just cannot seem to get away from it. The Lord is your strength. The Lord is my strength. And we can, through him, we can have victory in these areas. And we have to really just meditate on him. And so I hope that this song gets in your head. I hope that it doesn't get out of my head for a very long time. But I know that my Redeemer is faithful and true. Everything that he said, he will do. Every morning his mercies are new. My Redeemer is faithful and true. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again soon.